నేను జోసెఫ్ని ప్రేమిస్తున్నాను. వాడిని తప్ప ఇంకెవరిని పెళ్లి చేసుకోను.
అసలు ఏం చూసి పడ్డావా మేడికి?
మీ వైఫ్ మీలో ఏం చూసి పడింది బాబాయ్?
Oh, wow. Touché.
మూతి రాసుకునేటప్పుడు ఉండే తీపే కాదు, చేదు కూడా ఉంటుంది. హ్యాపీగా ఉండండి, ఏ గొడవలు లేకుండా. ఇంకా తమరు మా గొడవలు ఏం తలదూర్చక్కర్లేదు. బుద్ధిగా ఏదన్నా ఉద్యోగం ఎత్తుక్కోండి.
Can he stay away from the trouble, though, is the question.
ఆదివారం మాకు సపోర్ట్ ఉంది.
సభా ఎక్కడా? నేను కూడా వస్తాను. రేపు మన పెళ్ళైతే నేను ఎలాగో మారాలి కదా, అదేదో ఇప్పుడు నుంచి అలవాటు చేసుకుంటాను.
Oh, it's cute. How often do you have relationships where you have a mutual respect of religion? I feel like that's easily a source of conflict.
ఆవిడంటే ఇష్టం అంటున్నావు, మరి పెళ్లి చేసుకోవడం ఏంట్రా నొప్పి నీకు? ఇప్పటికే 49 ఏళ్ళు వచ్చాయి, ఊరంతా బ్యాట్ టాక్ ఉంది.
Some even say that you're gay.
నా పెళ్లి గురించి మీ పంచాయతీ ఏంటండి?
ఒరే అబ్బాయి, నిన్ను ఊరంతా నట్టుగాడు అనుకున్నారు.
ఏంటండి మీరు మాట్లాడేది? నేను నట్టుగానేంటి?
So what if he is?
ఊర్లో
What business is it of yours? Okay, well that's a problem.
పోయిన పరువు ఎలా పోయింది? దయచేసి నా మాట విని ఆ పెద్దవాడి మనసు మార్గం ముందే పెళ్లి చేసుకో.
शादी माँ पागल तो नहीं हो गए हो?
वो सोच समझ के फैसला किए.
मोहल्ले वाले क्या सोचेंगे, मामा जी क्या सोचेंगे?
तुम क्या सोचती हो, तुम क्या चाहते हो, उसमें हमको
You can see what she thinks of it.
అటువంటి స్థితిలో ఉన్నప్పుడు మధ్య వయస్కుడు అంటున్నాడు, నా కళ్ళతో జాగ్రత్త పడిన విషయం ఏంటో తెలుసా? నా కళ్ళతో నిబంధన చేసుకుంటాను, మరలా చేసుకుంటాను.
Uh-oh. Trouble.
రాజు అంటే మీరేనా? మా అమ్మ అంటే మీకు ఇష్టమా?
అంటే ఇష్టమే.
హలో, ముందు మెలకలు తిరగకుండా సరే. మీరు జస్ట్ ఒక అటెండర్, జీతం 8,000 వరకే. అదే ఆఫీస్లో మా అమ్మ ఒక మంచి పొజిషన్లో ఉన్నారు, జీతం అన్ని పోనీ 22,000 వరకు వస్తుంది.
FBI.
ఈ వయసుకి నువ్వు అలా అనుకోవడం అస్సలు తప్పులేదు. ఇంకా ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయమ్మా క్వశ్చన్లు?
Nothing wrong with healthy skepticism. Uh-oh.
ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళొస్తున్నావే?
సుష్మా వాళ్ళ ఇంటికి వెళ్ళొస్తున్నాను నాన్న.
Oh no.
అబద్ధాలు చెప్పావంటే ఈ పగిలిపోద్ది.
అతని పేరు జోసెఫ్. పెళ్ళంటూ చేసుకుంటే అతన్నే చేసుకుంటాను.
ప్రేమంట ప్రేమ నీ కళ్ళ ముందే ఉరేసుకొని చస్తా.
ఏ బెదిరిస్తున్నావా?
చూస్తావా?
నిజంగా ఉరేసుకున్నాడు కూడా ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పడు.
నాకు ఏదైనా పని చేసుకోవాలనుందిరా. ఇప్పుడు దాకంటే ఎలాగో అలా బతికేవరా. రేపు పొద్దున్న పెళ్ళైతే పెళ్ళాన్ని నేనే చూసుకోవాలి కదరా. చూసుకోవాలంటే ఏటో చేసుకోవాలి కదరా.
What can you do? Is that her dad?
ఏంట్రా స్కూల్లో మంచి హడాడుగుంది?
అవునండి, ఈరోజు స్వతంత్ర దినోత్సవం కదా. ఆ పాప చూడండి ఎంత చక్కగా పడేస్తుందో. ఎవరో 8వ తరగతి సునీత అంట.
Oh, she's gonna get an ass beating. Oh no. No. Let it be, dude. Just let it be. Be cool. Oh no. Come on, be cool, dude. Everyone's cool. Just be cool, man.
అరే ఎందుకండి అలా కొడుతున్నారు? పాప బాగానే పాడింది కదండి.
పాడేది ఇలాంటి పాటల పిల్లలు పాడేది
పాటే కదండి, ఏమైంది?
ఇప్పుడు పాటే కావచ్చు.
Dang.
और एक बार बोलेगा तो मार डालूंगा, चंपेस्తా నిన్ను.
Oh, this is going very well. Very auspicious Monday, huh?
నీకు నేను తప్ప వేరే దిక్కులేదు. అయినా నా మాట కాదని వాడిని చేసుకున్నావంటే ఈ జీవితంలో నిన్ను నీ కూతుర్ని నా గడప తొక్కనివ్వను.
Fuck that guy. Damn. What a punk.
ఫస్ట్ టైం నువ్వు మా వైన్ షాప్కి వచ్చావే, ఆ రోజు నేను చూసి పడిపోయా. నువ్వు నీకు నచ్చినట్టు ఉంటావు. నువ్వు రాని ప్రతిసారి ఊరు మొత్తం తిరిగేవాడిని నీకోసం. నువ్వు ఎక్కడ కనిపించేదా నువ్వు కాదు.
It's kind of amazing that they're able to make a cute story out of that. Stalker and a hooker. This is like, I think it's cute, but like there's this thing inside me, I'm like, I want her to stop doing that job. This dude is a prime example of how sometimes a bad boy gets converted into a working dude, a good working dude. I'm waiting for this to blow up in his face somehow, because like rumors were being spoken about the other dude just for not being married. And here you've got a fellow with an HOOKER, a schmucker. You know, surely if your neighborhood talks, the other villagers talk, somebody's saying something about this. He's going to get into a fight or something. Oh, I hope this guy does not get screwed. Oh, to be young and hopeful and have the rest of your life to look forward to.
పెళ్లి చేసి పంపించేస్తాం. అదే ఆచారం మీద ఉంటాయి కదా మీవి, పువ్వులనగా దండలనగా మంగళసూత్రాలనగా అవి పట్టుకోండి, సరేనా? సరే.
He's so happy.
అందరికీ ఇచ్చిరా
నాన్న.
వెళ్ళు.
4 తగిలిచ్చి మీ నాన్న ఒప్పిస్తా, సరేనా? పద.
ఊరేసుకొని మరి నన్ను పెళ్ళికి ఒప్పించాడు బాబాయ్.
అరే జోసెఫ్ గాడమ్మా.
You should never do that. You should never threaten someone like that. That's terrible.
అరకులో ఉద్యోగం చేస్తున్నాడు, మంచి జీతం కూడాను. వాడి ఇదివరకులా గాలోడు కాదమ్మా, నీకోసం బుద్ధిగా ఉంటున్నాడు.
సాయంత్రం పెళ్లి పెట్టుకొని ఇప్పుడు పిలిపిస్తే ఏం ఉపయోగం బాబాయ్?
అంటే సాయంత్రం పెళ్ళా?
Oh shit, he's marrying her off.
మా భార్గవే, మీ నాన్న వాడిని ఒప్పుకోపోవడానికి కారణమైన చెప్పాలమ్మా.
మతం.
ఇక మీదట ఇలాంటి పనులు ఎప్పుడూ చేయక.
ఇదిగో చూడు, నువ్వెవరో నాకు తెలియదు, అయినా నేనేం చేస్తా నీకెందుకు? మర్యాదగా బా.
కావుగే భాయ్ కుప్ర హాతోడా రితు.
Oh no. I knew this was coming.
అక్క మాడు రెడీయా? ఇది ఏం మాట్లాడే?
No way.
అడ్డమైన తిరుగులు తిరిగి అర్ధాంతరంగా దీని గురించి విచారం చేయాలా? తీసుకెళ్ళి
Oh fuck. I didn't think they were going to kill her or that she was going I knew they were going to do some damage, but I didn't think they were going to kill her. That's fucked up.
ఉద్యోగం ఎలా ఉందిరా?
మీరు ఇప్పించిన ఉద్యోగం అన్న చాలా బాగుంది.
Oh, this is not going to go well for he's going to be so upset.
రే కూర్చో, నీది కొంచెం మాట్లాడాలి, కూర్చో. భార్గవి పెళ్ళి అయిపోయిందిరా.
Oh man, you try to do everything right and that's frustrating as fuck. Like you do everything you think you're supposed to do.
అంకుల్ సునీత లేదా?
సునీత ఎందుకు?
అదే పుస్తకం ఇచ్చింది కదా, థ్యాంక్స్.
థ్యాంక్స్ వద్దు కానీ పుస్తకం కొని దగ్గర ఉంచుకో.
మరి సునీతకు?
సునీతని స్కూల్ మార్పించాం, ఇంకా స్కూల్కి రాదు. ఏదో గవర్నమెంట్ ఉద్యోగిని కదా, గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్లో చదివిద్దాం అని చెప్పి ఆదర్శంగా ఇక్కడ స్కూల్లో పరిస్థితి బాలేదండి, అందుకే ఢిల్లీలో ఒక మంచి ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం స్కూల్ చూసి జాయిన్ చేసి వచ్చాను.
Damn. That's the one thing that sucked about being a kid. It's like you have no control over these like circumstances, you know? I mean, oh, I thought he was going to do something bad for a second. I got scared. Oh no, don't set it on fire, dude. Don't. Oh no. Oh no. You fucking kidding me with this, right?
Hey. ఏం సార్? Oh yeah.
Fuck. Damn.
తయారు చేసిన బొమ్మే కదా ఇది. బాగా జరిగింది మనకి. పెద్ద పేరు.
Oh man, it's not right, is it? No. No, man. Oh no.
మీ ఇద్దరు ఇంట్లో వెళ్ళిపోండి, మీ ఇద్దరు నా పరువు తీయడానికి పుట్టారు.
मेरा गलती है, अन्नी तप्पु नादे ना मैं यहाँ पे आती ना मैं राजू से मिलती ना इस उम्र में सब होता किसको फोन कर रहे हैं
राजू को
किस लिए
आपको लेके भगाने के लिए
Wow, she's on his side now.
मैं लोग क्या कहेंगे आदिति
ఆహా ప్రేమించేటప్పుడు గుర్తు రాలేదా మీకు మీ వయసు
छोड़ो फोन दो आदिति प्लीज फोन दो फोन दो
నోరు మూసుకొని కూర్చో
Damn.
హలో
నాన్న
నాన్న
ఈ నంబర్లో నుంచి ఫోన్ చేస్తే నిన్ను నాన్న అని ఎవరు పిలుస్తారు వచ్చి మా అమ్మని తీసుకెళ్ళిపో
తీసుకెళ్ళిపోవాలా తీసుకెళ్ళిపోవడం ఏంటి
అయ్యో చూద్దాం నీ పౌరుషం ఎంత ఉందో
ఎక్కరేగిందంటే మీ అమ్మని తీసుకెళ్ళి పెళ్లి చేసి పారదొప్తాను
ఛాలెంజ్లు చేయడం కాదు వచ్చి చూపించు చూద్దాం
వస్తున్నా పిల్లగానే ఊరుకుంటే పేటరేగిపోతుంది
ఊర్లోకి వెళ్తున్నాడే చూస్తుంటే ఏదో వెంట పెట్టేటట్టున్నాడే రాజాబాబు నాతో రండిరా
Oh, man.
వెళ్ళాలని ఉన్నప్పుడు నోరు మూసుకొని వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు కదా దిగు
దిగండి మేడం దిగండి మీ అమ్మాయి చాలా పెద్ద పెద్ద మాటలు మాట్లాడుతుంది
చీర పట్టుకొని నిదానంగా దిగు
అమ్మో మనోహర్
Oh, shit.
లవ్ స్టోరీ ఉందా
లవ్ స్టోరీ అంటే ఉన్నాయండి నేను స్కూల్ చదివేటప్పుడు సునీత అనే అమ్మాయిని ప్రేమించాను
I didn't see this coming. Wow. I didn't see this coming. I didn't realize it was the same story.
అప్పుడు 22-23 ఏళ్ళు ఉంటాయి భార్గవ్ అని బ్రాహ్మణ్ అమ్మాయిని ప్రేమించాను పెళ్లి చేసుకుని వెళ్ళిపోయింది
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Wow.
33 ఏళ్ళు ఉంటాయి అప్పుడప్పుడే ఏకలు రాలిపోతున్న వయసులో సలీమా అనే సాయిబుల్ అమ్మాయిని ప్రేమించాను నాకు తెలీదండి అలా జరిగిపోయింది
Wow. Very, very well done. I did not know it was all the same person.
ఆ తర్వాత ప్రేమ పెళ్ళి అని కాన్సెప్టే లేదు ఎదిగో మళ్ళీ మీరు తగులుకునేదాకా
అయ్యో కరెంట్ పోయిందే
కరెంట్ పోయిందా సరే సరే ఉండండి చూస్తా
చెప్పరా రాజు జనరేటర్ పెట్టాలా అరే ఎంత ఫ్రెండ్ అయినా సరే జనరేటర్ మాత్రం ఫ్రీగా ఇవ్వడం ఉంటుందిరా ఫస్ట్ నైట్ కాబట్టి డిస్కౌంట్ పోను 2000 ఇచ్చే
రూపాయలు వందలయ్యాయి వందలు వేలయ్యాయి కానీ వాటికి ముందున రెండంకెని మటుకు మార్చలేదురా చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి నువ్వు సర్లే ఇస్తాను వచ్చెయ్యి
ఓకే బయలుదేరుతాను రే రే నేను అక్కడ కరెంట్ పోయిందట ఆ రూమ్లో జనరేటర్ సెట్ చేయలే నేను వస్తాను
Wow. I really like that. So where do I start with talking about this movie? It caught me really off guard in that ending because I did not suspect in the slightest that they were all the same character. And obviously that was by design. You're not supposed to know that until the end of the story. They dropped hints. Like if I were to go like in my mind, I'm kind of replaying the movie a little bit. I'm like, oh, they did kind of drop hints that along the way that it was the same dude. And I didn't really pick up on that until until the reveal of the movie. Until the M. Night Shyamalan moment when, you know, and they start showing you all the flashbacks. I'm like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. The guy in his 30s, the version of him in his 30s with the long hair and the beard and all that stuff, his hair was so different from the version of him in his 20s or late teens or whatever it was. I had a hard time, just in terms of the look, buying that, okay, this is the same dude across all his years, because your hair doesn't change that dramatically over the years, right? Maybe your hairline recedes, but the style of your hair is the same. You're not gonna have bushy, wavy hair, and then later on you have the, you know, but maybe I'm overthinking it. I still love the concept a lot. I like the idea of this movie so much. It shows you a lot of things. There's a lot of ideas to munch on here, a lot of food for thought. And the biggest one that stands out to me, I hope you guys will bear with me as I talk about this, because your religion is very precious to you, and I respect that. For me, I come from the opposite. I grew up with religion and I abandoned it. I don't look back. It's way behind me. I feel better for it, like it's a weight off of me. I was dealing with guilt of wanting to leave, and then I did, and I felt better after I left. It's not that I don't have any sort of spiritual belief. It's just that to me, organized religion can get in the way of things like peace, love, just respect for one another. And this movie demonstrates exactly my fears with religion and my issues of conflict that arises needlessly. Let's take it age by age, I guess. You know, when he's a young guy and he falls in love with this girl, and then her dad takes her away because of his, well, religion doesn't really factor into that, but there is a religious sensibility to the whole thing. He takes issue with the song, and that's probably informed by religion on some level. It's never overtly expressed what the dad's religion is. I'm sure it's informed by that sort of traditional mentality or conservative mentality. And then later on, when he's in his teens, he's kind of a thug, kind of a goon, which actually makes sense. He lost his dad at a young age. He didn't know he was the cause of his father's death. And then he meets this girl that completely like reshapes him. After losing her, it's like he's brokenhearted again. After going through what he's gone through in his life, it actually makes a lot of sense that he'd be as open-minded as he is in his 30s. He's like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about any of this. I don't care about religion. I don't care about tradition. I don't care about what other people think. I'm in love with you. You know, you're the one. You're my boo. And I was actually really hoping for that version of him, for that couple. The way she got taken out was really sad. And that's the best example of how religion can get in the way. Well, I skipped over something in my head. So when he was in his late teens or early 20s, at some point he converted to Christianity, and the girl he falls in love with is not Christian. She's Hindu, I think. Her father gets her married off to somebody else because her father takes umbrage with who she has decided to try to elope with. Then he was in his 30s. He doesn't care that she's Muslim. He doesn't care. He's abandoned religion at this point. They show you the connection because, you know, after he gets his heart broken, he renounces his belief in Jesus. He sets the rosary behind, or his necklace with the cross on it. He's abandoned it. All religion. He's just atheist now. And he doesn't mind that she's Muslim. He doesn't challenge it. He just wants to be with her. He's in love with her and he respects her, which is incredible because like no one else has shown her any form of any iota of respect. And here's this guy who comes along and he's in love with her, and then he gets his heart broken again. And then you can see why someone like that, after 3 major traumatic instances of having his heart broken like that, you can see why someone might want to stay alone. And so here he is again with another chance at love at the age of 49, 50 years old. And once again, you know, tradition, religion, I guess caste, you know, class is sort of getting in the way. I find that so frustrating that something like that can stand between two people who just want to be together. All these other factors have to come into play for two individuals who just want to be together. That is so infuriating and so frustrating, and I think that's one of the big commentaries of this film. I mean, it's very overt in its expression of that. I wish we could all be more open-minded. I'm not talking about India specifically, I'm just talking globally. I wish we could all be more open-minded to one another and allow each other to be happy in the way that they want to be. Like at one point, our main dude who's getting accused of being gay, it's like, okay, so what? If he is, just leave him alone. Let him be him. Let him do him. If he just wants to be alone, let him be alone. If someone's happy living their life their way, what's the problem? They did a really good job of building in these excuses of why, of saving that reveal to the very last few minutes of the film, because he has a history, he has a past. You don't know what it is unless you're quick on your feet about it, unless you're able to put it together real quick. I had no idea that was coming. It caught me so off guard. I don't know why, like I was so shocked. I almost had tears in my eyes because I was just like, I cannot believe I didn't see that coming. And I think it's because each of them look different from one another. I thought these were just like overlapping stories. I thought it was also quite interesting how the ripple effect of the father sending his daughter off to New Delhi, right? The kid loses his shit and destroys the idol. The idol being destroyed causes the kid's father to want to take himself out, which I thought was so sad. I was really rooting for him. I was rooting for him because I was like, oh my God, he's so close to turning his life around. He's had such a hard life with that speech impediment. And here he is with this craftsmanship that will take his family to the next level. And then it gets taken from him for no reason, for nothing that has to do with him other than he's just trying to do good by his family. I thought that was so sad, you know? And it feels so real, like something like that could happen. And he just gets fucked like that. I felt so bad for him. It was heartbreaking. The movie never addresses the guilt that our main dude might have felt from the realization that he caused his father's death. That would mess me up. That would cause me an immense, a gargantuan amount of trauma that like it would take years to deal with, assuming that he ever confronted that. Such an interesting story. Such a very, very, very interesting story. I really like the concept of this so much. My grievances or my negative remarks about the film are technical ones. I wish that sometimes it was shot slightly differently because like sometimes characters were like dipping out of frame and I'm like, why can't the cameraman just pan over? I don't understand why the camera's not following. Like there were instances I thought it was cool where the camera would just allow the characters on screen to do their thing and you just were sort of like a fly on the wall. Like it was a sort of voyeuristic experience sometimes where you were just watching these characters be. And I thought that was kind of neat in its approach to telling the story. It's supposed to feel more grounded, more real, not commercial. It's anti-commercial. It's just supposed to be real. And I think that in its effort to feel real, I think sometimes it got into its own way. I mean, I thought what Venkatesh Maha did here, it's a beautiful story, and there's so much to take from this story. And for that, I applaud it. And it moved me. I wish that he had slightly more seasoned actors to be part of this project. Now, I don't speak Telugu. I don't speak any Indian languages. From what I could tell, the actors felt like they were a little less seasoned. Maybe that was by design. Maybe that's what he wanted. But like, if you watch something like Nomadland, I think that's what it's called. Nomadland is directed by Chloe Zhao. She's the same director who did Eternals. And it stars Frances McDormand. Frances McDormand is a very seasoned veteran actress. She's been doing movies for years. But a lot of people in that film were actually not actors. They were real people, right? And that's how a lot of individuals in this movie felt. They felt like real people, and sometimes that's cool. Sometimes that actually works really, really well. Other times, there's this sort of texture in the scene work that is sort of missing if you're not a seasoned actor or at least have some experience. And I don't know how seasoned these actors are. I have no idea like how much work they've done before this movie. I don't know if they were deliberately told to do things in the way that they did. But sometimes with actors that are less seasoned, you have this sort of weird rhythm in terms of scene work. Even if it's improvised, there's a sort of weird rhythm to the whole thing that seasoned actors generally like are able to. Well, they don't have that. They don't have that weird rhythm. They have a good rhythm for scene work, right? In the way that actors hit their beats and whatnot, and the way they communicate with one another, their movement and their blocking, it all is fake, but it feels natural. And it might be conditioning with what we've been conditioned to watch in films. If you compare it against real life, the fake behavior in movies makes sense with real life because that's what a good actor does, is their ability to imitate real life. When you ask people who don't have experience with pretending to pretend, they are more aware of what they're doing, so it reads differently is the easiest way to put it. That being said, I was still moved. The version of our main dude in his 30s, I thought that his acting was pretty darn good. Him and the shooker. I thought that, you know, they did a really, really good job. I thought the young version of him, the young boy, did an excellent job. I always admire young actors or actresses who are able to feel real and not feel like actors. And I suppose that's the benefit of having hired people who are less actory for this movie. They feel less actory to me. My understanding of this might be way off. The cast in general felt less actory to me. So the young version of him and the young girl, they felt very natural. I liked them a lot. I was really rooting for them. You know, that moment when he steps outside of the girl's dad's place with the social studies homework, and he's just so frustrated and he throws it on the ground. That felt real to me. I felt like I was watching an actual kid get fucking frustrated with the situation that he had no control over. As a kid, I remember, you know, falling for a girl who went to a different school, and it's like I wanted to go see her, but I couldn't. I wanted to go spend time with her, but I couldn't. And it was frustrating because I had no control. I had no way of like getting my parents to get us to hang out. Anyway, that's beside the point. All I'm saying is, they did a really good job. The version of our main dude when he was in his late teens or early 20s, I thought he did a pretty decent job. It's his girlfriend where I was like, oh, okay, she's less seasoned. As far as I can tell, she seemed less seasoned. The version of our main dude who's 49, 50, and his lady who's 42 years old, they seemed less seasoned. No disrespect to any of them. I still really liked watching their story, and that's what matters at the end of the day. I still was hopeful for their adventure, and that's what matters. I enjoyed going on this journey with these people. As someone who watches a lot of movies, these are things that I pick up on, or at least this is the assessment I'm making, and that is that we're watching people who just don't have as much experience with you know, behaving, with pretending. They still were able to capture my heart nonetheless, and that's what's important. One of the things that comes up with more seasoned actors, and I guess directors for that matter, knowing blocking and organizing that blocking, and knowing how to get your actors to have better eye line. These are small things, but they really help a lot. There were instances where when our main dude was 49 and talking to the girl that he likes, the eye line was just weird, and it felt like he was looking down a lot. When you're more experienced, that's something you just sort of understand, or at least it's communicated, but it felt like Venkatesh Maha really wanted this to feel as real as possible. So he just wanted to let these people express themselves and just capture whatever it is they did. George Lucas did the same thing on American Graffiti. He had a script, but a lot of that movie was improvised. The script became more of just like the bare bones of the story. What the actors quickly learned was if they didn't get their lines right away, George Lucas was going to take the bad take and use that. There would be instances where George Lucas, you know, he'd shoot 1 or 2 takes, the actor sort of screwed up, but then kept going because, you know, the film's rolling. And then George Lucas was like, all right, let's move on. We got it. And the actor was like, no, wait, I didn't get my line right. He's like, no, it's fine. Because he liked it, how real and how raw it felt. That's what this movie was doing, was there was a lot of rawness in the performance. I think the film did such a good job of helping me to buy into the environment, then the circumstances in the world. Even if I did find shortcomings with some of the performances in the film, I felt like I was watching a real world, if that makes any sense. And it was neat to see some of the inner workings of each of these worlds at different stages of his life. Because it's set in that village scene where maybe not much has changed over the 49 years or whatever, or 40 years as it were, it's able to trick you into thinking this is all the same timeline. This is all happening like at the same time. And you find out late that no, this is over the span of 40 years. I thought that was such a cool move. You know, it's the secret that the director's guarding until the last 10 minutes for that reveal. Like, it's a real good punch in the chin, man. Like, it catches you good. And I loved that. I liked the experience I had with this film. And I think that's really important. I cannot emphasize that enough, because I just love the concept of this so much. The idea that this guy has gone through his life trying to be in love, and he gets screwed over again and again and again. And thankfully, by the end, he finds it. And thankfully, by the end, he finds happiness. I was wondering where it was going. I was like, is this just gonna be a sad ending? Like, he's getting beat up on the ground in front of the train tracks. I'm like, is this it for him? Like, every single love story in this movie just ends tragically. Thankfully, he had his people there. I would have loved to have seen his people back him up and beat down the guys, the uncle and his posse who was beating him up at the train tracks, because I was just like, okay, so you showed me the moment. The film does a lot of inferring. That's what I noticed here. And there are many instances where I thought it worked very effectively, but there were some instances where I wish it actually showed you instead of just inferring. Because the thing it was inferring there was that the uncle and his goons either backed off or they got beat up. I wanted to see them get beat up because that guy's an asshole. He needed to get beat up. It feels very, very slice of life because you don't know what happened to the young girl who was sent off to New Delhi. You don't know what happened to the girl in her teens who was married off. You have no idea. That's just how life can be sometimes. And so the movie sort of treats it that way. You know, these characters that were once in his life are gone, just taken from him, and he never speaks to them again. That's how it goes sometimes. Its ability to weave the real life repercussions, ramifications, this real life negatives, I suppose, with a very happy cinematic ending, so to speak. I think it's cool, and it gives you hope that, like, no matter how old you are, maybe you can find happiness. Maybe you can still find yourself again and find a new adventure. Because he's like, as he was running away, he's like, we're too old for this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, but like, you're still alive. You still have breath in your lungs. You're still breathing. Your heart is still beating. You can still do something. You can still find a new form of happiness. There's still a chance, you know? As long as you're alive, there's still a chance. And I like that message a lot. And I think that the messages in this film are so great. I really appreciate them. It's a very, very moving picture. A very moving film. And you don't get too many like this. Like, the film had me like really twisting up sometimes. And that's the mark of good filmmaking and good writing, is, you know, when a movie can really, really move you. I've watched a lot of films, and the fact that I could get swept up in this story, in this adventure, I'm like, wow, like it really did its job. I think that Venkatesh Maha did a really, really, really good job here. Thanks so much. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this along with me, and hopefully you enjoyed some of the commentary. That's it for now. I'm Jaby KOAY. Peace out.